Hi everyone, it is time for a new video, and as you can see, pink has exploded all over me, and we are doing another video where I read books with specific covers, and if you didn't guess it already or didn't see it in the title, we're obviously doing pink. So pink is my favorite color, and I've been wanting to do this from the start. I actually don't know why it wasn't. I think I do know. Actually, I do know why it wasn't the first thing that I did, because there's not enough pink covers, and I actually don't have that many. And I just need there to be more. Because, like, I think a lot of us can agree that it is, like, one of the best colors of covers ever. I am going to be reading some fucking wonderful books, and I just love making these videos. I am going to start doing a thing where I actually tell you what the next color is going to be, and you can tell me what books you love in that color, and what books you want to read in that color, so that maybe I can pick them up, or maybe I can just, like, mention what books people said, or something like that. In the next video, it's gonna be yellow and orange. So I want to do that before the summer is over, but anyways, today pink is the star of the show, and I don't think I need to do any more explaining. We're gonna read some pink books and have a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's just jump straight into it. Hi everyone, so I have started reading the first book. I look very rough. I'm about to go remove my makeup and go to sleep, but I want to talk to you first because I'm very excited to start this vlog, and the book that I was the most excited about slash in the mood for right now is See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon. So this book is one that I've been wanting to read since before it even came out, because I absolutely loved Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon, which is the first book in the series. They're not really connected so far. I don't know how connected they are, and I'm really enjoying this one. So the premise is we have our main female character who basically gets stuck in a time loop, reliving the first tragic shitty day of college, and she finds out that her nemesis is stuck in the time loop as well and has been for a while, and they need to work together to figure out a way to get out of it, and that is the premise. So if you like enemies to lovers, or like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's enemies to lovers because they do become friends quite quickly, but there's definitely the, like, you know, really bad first impression, kind of like not treating each other the best at the beginning, and then slowly figuring out, you know what, you're not so bad, and, you know, all of that. So if you like that, definitely check it out. And I can't really think of specific stories that have this storyline, but I've definitely seen multiple movies, and it is a really fun concept. I really like how, you know, it's absolutely clear in every story that's like this, that it's about, you know, our main characters learning a lot of important lessons about life and all of that, and I just love that, you know. And obviously the romance is, like, makes it even more fun, and so far I feel really connected to the main characters, and it's really fun, and I can't wait to see where it goes. It's quite long. I don't know what the pages are because I'm listening to the audiobook, but it is over 11 hours, which is definitely a lot. But either way, I'm still very much enjoying it, and I'm really happy that I finally picked it up. So I am going to stop reading for now. I don't know if I'm going to have any deep thoughts as I read it, but either way, I'm going to update you at some point. Hi everyone, so I'm having a pretty shitty day, and I look even worse than I did in the first clip. However, I finished a book that was most certainly not shitty in the slightest, and that is obviously See You Yesterday, and I loved it so much. And I did not obviously update you as I was reading it because I was so immersed in the story. Again, the audiobook is way too long, and I feel like maybe the plot could have been sped up a little bit in some parts, but I honestly don't even think there was, like, too much unnecessary stuff. Like, all of it felt really important for the story, and there were a lot of layers to the plot and a lot of different, like, stages and things happening, and I loved it so much. So obviously we have this time loop, and we have Barrett and Miles who are, you know, in this together, and Miles started the loop before Barrett. They're in college, And so it's actually, I called it YA, but it's definitely like new adult. So definitely in between YA and adult. So if that's something that you've been looking for, an excellent option. And so obviously there is like a layer of magic in this, but it's also very sciencey. Miles especially is very into physics, very nerdy, which actually was in some moments quite a big part of the story, and I personally do not care for physics at all, but like I just love Barrett and Miles. So I was definitely there for the romance, but I do think that the plot was really interesting and unique. I haven't read anything like this before. Like obviously it's not a unique concept in general, but I've never seen it done exactly like this, and it still I feel like is very special and so meaningful and so beautiful. I loved the romance. I loved their emotional development, like everything about this. I need to buy a physical copy. Like this is absolutely a 5-star and such a strong start to this video, and I'm just like in love with it. I literally read it in like 2 days and it was the best thing ever. Like I was kind of having a headache today and just like, you know, my body, like everything feels horrible. And so normally I would not listen to an audiobook in a state like this, but it's just like there's no way I'm not reading this book right now, cause I just needed to see where it goes, you know. I wanted to like just, oh my gosh. I am so happy because I would absolutely recommend it to romance readers, because like basically the entire time they're together and like spending time together, and obviously there's a lot of like other characters, other things happening, but like it is a very strong romance, but at the same time there's also a lot of other stuff happening alongside the romance. So if you are someone that likes a lot of plot outside the romance and like you want it to be complex and have a lot of layers, I feel like it's perfect for that as well. So very happy. Loved it so much. Even though like the plot is obviously like not realistic, like who knows, but you know, like the characters feel so relatable. Like it feels so real and human and raw and like inspiring and meaningful, and it's just absolutely everything. So I loved Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, but I think I loved this even more. That being said, I would highly recommend both of these books. Like, if you like reading about flawed characters who are just, like, so wonderful and so real, and they have such a beautiful love together, and it's just, like, the best ever, you need to pick up these books. Like, I think this is some of Rachel and Solomon's absolutely best work. So, I'm sorry about all the boring looks and angles so far in this video. I promise I am going to film in front of my bookshelves and we're going to get cuter than this, but I have been doing a little bit of reading and I am a little bit sick today, so I don't want to, you know, do my makeup and do the whole thing. So let's do that. Let's do the updates. So I have started listening to The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. And I'm kind of having mixed feelings. So in general, I have been struggling once again to focus on audiobooks a little bit. Like, I am kind of in the right audiobook mood in some moments, but I just can't pick the right book. And so I keep getting distracted and whatever. And so far, I'm not fully loving this book. I am at like 36% and I have hope that it's going to get better. But I just think that it's not fully for me. It's kind of giving me Emily Henry vibes. And I've heard Chandler Ainsley compare this book to The Beach Read, and she liked this one a lot more. I actually have not still read Beach Read. I started it, and I also did not really like it. So here's the thing. I have a very specific preference when it comes to the romances that I love the most. But that being said, I do sometimes really love other things, whether that's like other genres or romance that is different. I like emotional romances. I like romances that focus on like the personal character development and whatever. So I don't need all of them to be the same to enjoy them, even if it's not like my personal favorite thing. But this just reads as literary fiction to me. And while that's not a bad thing, it is not something I want right now. It's not something I want in general much either, but I'm definitely not in the mood for it. So I'm letting myself like just take it slow. I don't want to DNF it, but I also don't want to force myself into reading it. So the thing is, like, I'm not hating it. There is like some potential. I just feel like the style of writing and the way that I feel like the story is gonna go is not fully going to be something I love. I also didn't tell you what it's about, so it is an adult romance. And it is basically about these two writers who used to write together. And I'm still fully not understanding if they were together or if they were just like writing partners and it never grew into more. So I don't know if I do know that, if I'm supposed to know it already, or if like I just, you know, didn't notice as I was, or if I just, you know, got lost in the listening. I don't know. Either way, they were writing partners and then like something happened and they don't write together anymore. They don't like each other anymore. They were out of each other's lives for a long time, but the heroine's fiance is like I forgot which thing. He's either their agent or something like that. And he basically pushes the two of them together to write another book. The heroine is not writing at all and the hero is writing, but it's not like that popular. And so they basically go on this like writing retreat and they are supposed to write a book together. And it's not only that the writing style is not really fully working for me. The thing that I do actually kind of like the two main characters. Like, I do think that their romance could be really good. I do love books about writers, so I love that part of it. But the thing that I think I hate the most is the fiance. I generally absolutely despise when one of the main characters in a romance has a different partner at the beginning of the story. And the only thing that, like, in which cases it doesn't bother me is when, like, they're either broken up, like, already, like, freshly at the beginning of the story, or they break up at the beginning of the story. It just disrupts the flow of the romance development between the two main characters, because it's like, I want it to be focused on the two of them, and I don't want another person to be in the way. I hate love triangles, and this is like, you know that the other person is going to be out of the picture, but they're still there, and I don't want them to be there. So yeah. I do have hopes that it's gonna get better, and I do not want to DNF it, not just because I don't like DNFing generally, but I do actually want to know what happens next. But mixed feelings. That being said, I did buy a new book. So I am on a hunt. I don't want to purposely buy pink books for this video necessarily. I want to read audiobooks and ebooks as well, but I do also, of course, want to have physical books, and I don't actually have that many on my bookshelf. So we're gonna get to those as well, don't worry. But I saw this at the bookstore, Jana Goes Wild by Farah Heron. And I don't know, it sounded really good, the cover is really fun, and I literally went out yesterday thinking I want to have some like summery books to read because it's finally getting a little bit warm here. And so I'm just in the mood to read like fun, lighthearted summer romances. And this just screams summer. And I did read one book by Farah Heron before. It was her YA book, Tahira in Bloom, and I loved it. I did not read Accidentally Engaged, which I think is her debut, but I'm very excited to pick this up, and it's also supposed to be a second chance romance, and like they have a child together as well, and I don't know if they're like co-parents or something like that, but they're not together. So the heroine is a bridesmaid for a destination wedding. And oh yeah, the ex-boyfriend is her potential new boss. I love second chance romance. This cover is very bright and beautiful, and obviously it's half orange, but it's also very pink, so it certainly counts, and I'm super excited. So I don't know if I'll pick this up next and then finish the roughest draft, or if I'm gonna pick up something else entirely. I don't know. I was adding some books to my cart. I have a historical romance, I have a fantasy on my actual shelves already, and so I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for. I am doing other vlogs as well. I am here to give you some updates. So I have finished 2 books, And I do want to read a lot of books in this video, and I'm obviously going to update you along the way, but I was a little bit sick and I've been busy, so I just let myself read it without updating you. But I'm pretty sure I did talk to you about The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. So I just finished that, and I have a lot of thoughts. I'm not usually very adventurous with books that I read. I really stick to books that I'm like very sure I'm going to love. I make sure to know that, you know, someone I trust reviewed it and enjoyed it, or that I'm reading an author that I know I love. And so I don't always branch out much. And I feel like with this book, it was a little bit of a branching out. I have more complex feelings about it than just, you know, I loved it or didn't like it. So I did not like it at the beginning, and I have not been able to find the clip where I first talked about it, so hopefully I still have it somewhere, so you would have heard some of my initial thoughts. But I did not like it at the beginning. I honestly was like really bored, really frustrated. I was like, I don't know if I want to read this at all, but something about it, I was just like, I do want to keep reading. I do want to see where it goes, and I just had a feeling that it could get better, and it certainly did. So in the first half, I was kind of intrigued by the romance, but again, it was very slow. The characters were very distant, which like made sense for the story, but the thing that I hate the most, I think, is the fact that the heroine was engaged, like I said, to their agent, and that lasted for way too long. I personally absolutely hate when in a romance the main characters are with someone, and especially when it lasts for more than just the very beginning of the book. Like, I absolutely hate that. And like, obviously sometimes it makes sense for the story, definitely makes sense in here, but I just don't like reading that. That being said, the last half, the second half, especially like the last like 40-30%, took over my heart. Like, I was like, okay, I see the point of this. I see why they should be together. I was rooting for them so much, and so much about it actually like really resonated with me, and it just hit me emotionally. And it was amazing. Like, I absolutely loved the rest. So I am very conflicted about the rating. I was kind of like, I can't give it more than 3 stars, but then I was like, I really loved the end, and I loved how it all came together. First half was a drag, but the second half I basically have listened to like last night and this morning. I finished the whole thing. So I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. So that is that. And then actually before that, I read one whole book, which was The Duke's Secret Cinderella by Ava Devon. And so this is a historical romance that I was just like, I ran into. I thought the cover and the title were cute, and I give it a try. Read the whole thing, and I honestly don't have that many thoughts, so I'm just gonna quickly mention it here. I do think we have other historical romances I'm gonna read that I'm more excited about, but it was really cute. It was a very sweet, quite like low angst historical romance. So it is basically about our 2 main characters. One is a duke who whose mother is telling him like, you need to get married as soon as possible, and she finds a fiance for him who is the stepsister of a woman that he actually ends up liking a lot more, who is our heroine, who basically lies to him and says that she's also a lady, but she's actually not a lady. But they immediately have an attraction, and they really like each other, and so the hero goes through with just, you know, like pursuing her, because he just likes her a lot more than the girl that his mom chose for him. And so there's, you know, that like angst. It is kind of like a Cinderella retelling. Evil stepsister, but the stepsister is actually like a good friend of hers, but it's kind of like she has, instead of a evil stepmother, she has an evil stepfather. I gave this book 3 stars. I did really like the romance. Like, it was very sweet and romantic, and I really I rooted for them. It was great, but I did feel like it was kind of insta-lovey, and I didn't fully feel invested in it because I felt like the tension was not developed in the way that I would prefer. Like, I wish it was more developed, and I wish I could see why the characters should be together a little bit more. The main thing that I did not like about it was the evil stepfather. I think I mentioned it in a different vlog, that I absolutely hate in romances when there's someone who like wants to ruin the couple's life and wants to tear them apart and whatever. Like, obviously it makes sense for some stories, and like I understand why it's something that happens, but I just hate that. Like, I love when there are people who want to, you know, put them together, and absolutely hate when there are people that tear them apart. Like, And again, like, I wish it was a little bit more developed, but that being said, even though it's just 3 stars, I did really like it. It was a very quick read, it was cute, and if you would like to read a quite, like, chill, lighthearted historical romance, and you like the thought of a Cinderella retelling, definitely check it out. So, yeah. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to read. I have so many potential books, but I want to actually mention a few physical books, because I would really like to read a physical book now. So, a book that I do think I am in the mood for soon is Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I have mixed feelings about Tessa Bailey's books, but overall they are fun reads, and this cover is very cute. I don't remember what it's supposed to be about. And then I have some interesting ones. So I do have another romance. That is The Accidental Pinup by Danielle Jackson. But now that I think about it, I do think I'm going to have this in a different vlog, because while it does have, like, some pink, it's not really completely pink. So, yeah. And so then I have 2 books that are not romances, or at least not only romances. This, I think, is supposed to be a fantasy romance. I've heard a lot of things about it, and that is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I have been really feeling like I finally want to read fantasy again, so I definitely need to pick this up, but I'm not sure. Again, like, I don't think it's going to be the next book that we read. And then this one, again, it's not, like, obviously only a little bit of pink here, but the whole back is pink, and I would really like to read it. So again, I'm not sure, but it is a very cute book that I'm excited about, and it's called One Jar of Magic by Corey N. Haidu, and it's a middle grade. So I'm gonna shut up now, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi everyone, so I'm gonna make this update really quick. I'm not wearing pink right now. I was earlier today, but it actually has been very hot outside, and I just changed immediately. So I'm also feeling really sleepy for some reason, but I want to keep reading the book that I started. So I have not started the physical books just yet. So I do think in the next update I want to start one and update you on that. But right now I just quickly wanted to mention that I've started Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli. I also got my nails done today, and I've never done a design like this. I've never had a French manicure. So I got, like, a French manicure with this little line. But yeah, so I started the book. I'm like 40% through it, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna finish it right now when I, like, start it again. I'm gonna fly through the rest. It's a very fun book, and I'm so happy. I was just, again, struggling to decide what to read, and I basically, like, moved to bed, and I was about to watch TikTok, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna, like, listen to a little bit of an audiobook, and then I listened to, like, a lot of it. So I'm gonna go back to that right now. It is a gorgeous cover, not entirely pink, but I still wanted to mention it, still reading it, you know, and it's basically like a queer coming-of-age YA contemporary. Really enjoying the main character. She is, like, basically at the beginning of the story, she thinks she's definitely straight, and she has a queer sister, a lot of queer friends, and one of her best friends basically tells her, like, this new group of friends that that Imogen is her ex-girlfriend, even though they never dated and they've just always been friends, because she just panics and she lies, and then they have to pretend that that's the case, and it kind of forces Imogen to re-examine if she in fact is straight or not. So it's definitely like a questioning, figuring things out kind of a story, which I definitely think there should be more of, and so that's awesome, and it is just very fun and engaging, and I'm loving it so far. So I will talk to you again when I am wearing pink and when we read a physical book.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you.
Hi everyone, it is time for an update. I am visiting my family back home, and I'm wearing this hot pink shirt, and I'm here to give you a reading update. I am also drinking a sort of pink drink. It's kind of light and like a peachy color, but, you know, fits the vibe. So I came on this trip and I obviously didn't want to take too many books, and so I've been doing like ebook and audiobook reading, and I did, however, pick up a new book that is pink. Before we get to that though, I'm not sure if I mentioned that I wanted to read An Island Princess Starts a Scandal by Adriana Herrera. I feel like maybe I didn't mention it, so I read the whole thing. I have been reading that over the past week, and I finished it yesterday, and I loved it. So it's basically an adult historical romance, and it's sapphic, and it was so fun. So we have our heroine, who basically, the two main characters make this deal together that one of the heroines is going to buy something from the other, and in that whole deal, I really should have checked their names, but the heroine who is selling the thing tells her that she will only sell it if she basically shows her around Paris and places where people like her, people like them, can go to, and just basically like queer clubs and just safe spaces for queer people around Paris. And that is how it begins. So they have this deal, but they also have a lot of attraction and a strong connection. But basically, one of them is a widow and the other is to be engaged. The one that is the island princess selling the thing. And she's still planning to get engaged. Or she is engaged. But it's just the kind of thing that is just a purely business situation. So at no point did it feel like actual cheating. Technically it is. But as someone who absolutely despises cheating, it did not bother me, because obviously that is not a relationship that is good for anyone, and that guy most certainly did not give a fuck. So I loved this book. It was so fun, and just I don't know, the plot was exciting, the main characters were amazing, their chemistry was great, it was awesome. And so if you would like to read a sapphic historical romance, definitely check this one out. It is fun, it is sweet, it is steamy, it is very angsty. I do feel like I did give it 4 stars and not 5 stars, and the main reason is it was super, super angsty, and I don't fully love super, super angsty books. And it felt like some of the angst and just plot points were a little bit repetitive and drawn out a little bit too much. But besides that, I had such a great time with it. It was so fun and absolutely amazing. If you also like badass feminist historical heroines and just all of that in historical romance, definitely pick it up. The book that I got is Reckless by Elsie Silver. So I wish it was a brighter, more pink book, because I feel like it is quite muted and a peachy pink. So I'm gonna try to get in a hot pink book. I got this book at the bookstore yesterday, and I'm already past the halfway point, and I'm obsessed with it. So I've been talking about Elsie Silver in a lot of my videos, so I'm gonna make this a little bit quick. But I'm in love with this series, and I love this book so much. It is absolutely everything. So it follows Theo and Winter. It has the accidental pregnancy trope, and I know that is something that a lot of people hate, but it happens basically right at the beginning, and I feel like it just is done so well. I feel like it just works for the story, works for the characters. It just it is absolutely wonderful, and it kind of feels like a single mom romance where Theo steps in to be the father of the child, and it is absolutely wonderful. I feel like if you love single parent romances, you're going to love this. And so sweet, so steamy, so fun, so emotional. We get to see all the characters from the previous books. So just such a beautiful fan family vibe. And the thing that I love so much about it is Winter is the one that is terrified of love, holding back, has walls around herself, and Theo is just so charming and flirty and positive and just such a light. Definitely feels like Grumpy and Sunshine in a lot of ways, and I absolutely love it. I'm absolutely loving Winter's journey in learning to love herself, learning to accept love from others. That is a very strong thing in here. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm gonna fly through the rest of it in the next 2 hours. I have not been able to stop reading it, so yeah, we're finally reading a physical book. Nothing has gone according to plan at all. I'll talk to you soon when I finish this book. Hi everyone. So I'm not looking super cute right now, but I have a pink drink and I have a super exciting package to open with you, so I did not want to wait to look better than this to do this. So let's open this. So the first thing I have here is actually not a book. It is a mouse. This is the 3rd time that I actually forgot a mouse. When I went to my parents' place, I multiple times left it there, I left it here, and whatever, and so I had to already buy a new mouse. And last week I took it there again, and I literally looked at it. I was like, I should put it in my backpack already. And then I was like, no, I'm not gonna forget it. I forgot it. So this time I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a cute mouse, a fancy one, to make it worth it. And it is actually really cute, and there is like a little bit of a rose gold color to it, so not really pink, but it actually also looks a little bit more gold than rose in person, but it's still a very fancy mouse. The start of the show, the actual book. We're gonna drop everything to read this next, and once again, you know, I talked to you about my potential TBR, and of course I have not read any fucking books out of those. I still want to read at least one. Like, god damn it, like, who cares? Oh my god. The book is Will They or Won't They by Ava Wilder, and to be honest, this is actually like the prettiest pink out of the ones that I have. Or like, Secretly Yours is also a very pretty pink, but like this is the most pink, you know? And oh, it's floppy, and it's, oh my gosh, one of my most anticipated releases of the year. Absolutely adored How to Fake It in Hollywood, which is Ava Wilder's. I don't remember if this is her only book, that this is her debut, or there's a chance there are other books, but either way, that was the first one I read by her. Adored it with my whole heart, and so this is the next one, and I am so fucking excited. Both of these are books about celebrities and actors, and I'm pretty sure that the two of them, like, hate each other, but they have to, like, be lovers in the whatever they're filming. I absolutely cannot wait. Again, like, oh my gosh. So definitely recommend this one. And I think I'm absolutely gonna adore this one. So I am so happy. I'm so happy because it's so beautiful. So that is all that I wanted to talk to you about. I'm pretty sure, I actually don't know. Maybe there's things that I needed to update you about that I haven't yet. Because I felt like I did, but I think maybe I have actually finished some things. I'm really confused now. So I'm gonna check, and if I haven't talked to you about something, I'm going to talk to you about something in the next clip. It's finally time for another update, and I was saying in the last clip that I felt like there was something that I forgot, and there were indeed 2 books that I have finished that I didn't talk to you about, and I'm gonna start with Imogen, obviously, because I started that before even like the previous 2 updates, and I never gave you the final update, so let's do that right now. And I did also finish Reckless, and that should be everything. I do actually also have another little slightly pink thing to show you, because it is just way too exciting for me not to show it in a video, but let's talk about the books first. So, Imogen, obviously, I absolutely adored it. I loved it even more than I thought I would. Like, before I went into the book, I thought, you know, I love the cover, and I thought I would like it, but for some reason, even though, like, Becky Albertalli used to be one of my favorite authors, it's just like, you know, I read her books when I was like 16 or whatever, and I didn't really, like, I don't know, for some reason I don't want to expect liking her new work. Oh, I shouldn't be that surprised, but I am so happy. I loved it so much. Imogen was just such a lovable character, and I felt like the representation in here was really, really strong and so well done. And again, it deals with like questioning super a lot, figuring things out, and it was like done in a very complex way where you get multiple different side characters with multiple different reactions, and I felt like all of that, the way that it was dealt with, put together, I just thought it was amazing. And there was like a cute little sapphic romance in here, definitely not super focused on that. So I do think this book is absolutely perfect for people who like contemporary but aren't like the biggest romance fans. Like, you know, if you like things like coming of age stories that are just focused on the main character's journey and, you know, like all kinds of things, not just romance, definitely check this book out. As a romance reader, I still absolutely loved it, so it was a beautiful book. And I also think that like the age category is really great, where it's specifically like, it's definitely like in the middle of like young adult and adult. Like it reads like the conventions or whatever are like YA, but it's like, you know, I think Imogen is 18 or something like that, so if that's like an age category that you're looking for, definitely check this out as well. So, loved it. Also, the cover is beautiful, so I desperately need to buy a physical copy at some point. because it's gorgeous. The UK cover compared to that is a disgrace. When it comes to Reckless, I'm honestly not going to talk about it much right now. Like, I've been editing all of my videos for, like, that I've filmed, that wow, I can't talk anymore. I've been editing my videos where I have constantly been talking about Elsie Silver's books, and I always say the same shit. Like, I actually feel like while they are kind of similar, they are also very different, but at the same time, like, the things that I can say about them are always the same. The one specific thing that I do want to mention is I absolutely loved Winter in here. Like, Elsie Silver just writes such wonderful heroines. If you prefer heroines who are kind of like sassy, a little bit untouchable sometimes. I forgot what I was saying. God help me. Anyway, Winter, I felt like Winter's journey was so powerful. And while I'm not the same as Winter in the slightest, I just saw myself so much in some parts of her journey. You know, she tries to accept that she's a little bit rough around the edges, and that even though she's not perfect and gets a little bit, you know, mean or angry sometimes, she is still worthy of love. And these are things that I've needed to learn my whole life, because I used to be like this. Like, when I was very young, like when I was like 12 or whatever, and around that time, like, I was very mean. I was also very rough around the edges, and I feel like, you know, in my own personal journey, I've like accepted myself more, but I've also changed a lot, and I'm not like that anymore. And I never fully accepted those parts of me that were angry, and I still felt some like guilt or bitterness or just like, you know, bad feelings about that. And so seeing a character like this and, you know, loving her, rooting for her and whatever is like a really powerful thing, I feel like. And I need to read more books about characters like this. I can think of a lot of them, to be honest, but this was just an example that was very powerful for me. Let's see what we have here. So, I have never bought myself, I was about to say I've never bought myself an expensive perfume. I've actually never bought myself any perfume, because I always asked for perfume for like my birthday or Christmas and whatever. And, you know, all of them are super expensive, and I didn't even really ever ask for like the high-end ones. I still asked for ones like from the drugstore and whatever. But a while ago, I ran into the YSL Black Opium perfume. It started with seeing the ads, and I was like, fuck, that looks so cool. And then I smelled it at Sephora, and it was like absolute heaven. And since then, I've been thinking about it, but I never asked for it for Christmas or whatever, because like I have a lot of perfumes, but at the same time, it stayed on my mind. I decided I would buy it for myself, but then I didn't for ages because it is super expensive. But I was just checking out the different stores, seeing if by any chance it couldn't be on sale. And it was! And on top of that, I got this like little gift set as, you know, like a proper gift to myself, because I did actually originally want to buy it for my birthday. So it was basically the price of the perfume with 2 extra things. So like, I could not resist. And the box is really cute. I'm definitely keeping this, and I also am going to turn this paper into bookmarks. So let's open it. I did already open it earlier, but I still put the things back. So this is what it looks like. I love it. It looks kind of orange on camera, but it is pink. So yeah, I obviously can't really tell you much more about it because it's perfume and I definitely can't describe scents. This is what the main bottle looks like. It is quite small. It is quite thin. So I don't know if I shouldn't have gotten like the one bigger size, but whatever. I got this. It has a little travel sized one. So I'm gonna shut up now. I do not know what book we're gonna read next. It would be great if it was one of the physical books, but I am very busy with work right now, so I have to put it on hold for a second, but you'll see me in the next clip reading whatever book I choose. So it is time for an update. I have started and finished Will They or Won't They by Ava Wilder, and I wasn't planning on doing this update right now because I was like, I should probably do an update when I have more than just this book to talk about, but I also got my nails done, and they're pink, and the quality is gonna be shit because I'm filming on my phone and the light is horrendous, but it is this like glittery, deep, amazing pink that I wanted to get for this video and for Barbie. So I'm obsessed with it. So, you know, I obviously have good reasons to film because this is very exciting. I am wearing pink and this book was absolutely perfect. So basically I did haul this book in this video, right? And I said I was going to read it, and I actually am filming another video I'm not sure actually if it's gonna go up after this or before this. Either way, I do talk about this book more in there. It's a video where I do the 24 hours timer situation where I read for actual 24 hours. And this book was calling my name and I wanted to focus on that video today and tomorrow. And I just did not want to wait to read this to focus on this video. So whatever, but I am still here to tell you about it because if you even like, whether the video is already up and you've seen me talk about it or it's going to go up after this, I want to talk about this book as much as humanly possible. Like, it is literally past midnight right now. It's going to be 1 a.m. soon. And I just realized I wanted to do Duolingo and I didn't. I was talking about this book in that clip and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to shut up. And I was like, I don't want to shut up. I want to keep talking. And so we're talking now. So let's, you know, go back to the fact that, to talk about what this book is actually about. It is yet another adult romance that is set around acting, and specifically, it is lovers, enemies to lovers, where our two main characters, Lila and Shane, started kind of dating when they first started filming their TV show, where they're like the main couple that has like a slow burn, will they or won't they romance. And they immediately had a connection and a spark, and they like started a sort of relationship outside of the acting, but like they never made it official. And then they had like a very messy, super emotional, painful breakup, and Lila basically left the show after her contract was up, and so they didn't see each other for a long time. And now Lila comes back to film the last season, and so again, there's still a couple in the show, and so they have to act, you know, as lovers on screen, and they have so many built up feelings and pining and emotions and like everything. Like, it is so angsty. It like is the most delicious fucking slow burn, and it is like torturous in the best way, and like, oh my god. So if you like lovers to enemies to lovers, you need this. If you like hate to love, second chance romance, you need to pick up this book. It is the most fucking perfect cocktail of like tropes and the plot and situation, like everything about it is absolutely incredible. Like, I had very high hopes for this book. Like, I knew this would be a fucking 5-star. Because I loved How to Fake It in Hollywood extremely a lot with my whole heart, which is the author's first book. And this was just as incredible. I don't even know what else to say. Like, it was, again, so angsty, so emotional, funny and hot and just fun and so fucking addicting. Like, I flew through it today. Like, I fucking inhaled it. I basically read it in one sitting, just like with the interruption that like I had to get out of the house and I had to like eat or whatever. But I am obsessed with this book, and I'm absolutely devastated that there are no other books by Ava Wilder that I can read, because like I need more. This was just incredible. The emotional connection, the way that they got closer in like all the different ways, the way that they learned to trust each other, like it was absolutely everything. There's also like a therapy thing in here, which like I always love to see in books, and I am just in love with it. There's anxiety representation. This was absolutely everything to me, and I need everyone to pick it up. I need Ava Wilder to write a million more books, and I just love books about acting so much. This video has gotten quite long, but I do want to read at least like 1 or 2 more books. Don't know what they're going to be yet, but I will talk to you about them in the next clip, obviously.
Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Like we can do nothing at all. So what? If you're stupid, then you know it's nothing wrong. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me.
Hi everyone, so a little change of plans. There's been a pink explosion and the time has come for me to finally fucking see the Barbie movie. So I'm gonna show you my outfit, and I decided today that I will not be reading any other books. I'm pretty sure I've updated you about all that I've finished. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna double check that later today, but I have read a shit ton. I've had a great time, and I'm definitely gonna do pink again. So the books that I didn't get to in this month, in this one, I'm just gonna get to another time. But I want to, before we wrap things up, I want to show you my outfit. I'm gonna see the movie, and then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts about the movie, and that's gonna be the end of the vlog. I feel like that's iconic. And so yeah, okay. I had kind of different plans, and I've been thinking about it for ages, but I also at the same time kind of like did not really plan it that well, and I just ran out of time to get the things that I would fully love. So this is the outfit, and I love it. Like, I think it's iconic. I do feel like a doll. I love it so much. The only thing is, I just really wanted like a very bright pink, like this moment. And the skirt kind of, you know, doesn't really, it's not fully it, you know, like I would not choose this like as my dream outfit for this, but it works. I had pants before and I was really unhappy with that, and then I realized I have this, and I did also think that I would take a hot pink handbag, but I did not realize that I don't have it here. I have it at my back home at my parents' place. So yeah, so the bag I'm also not like 100% happy with, but other than that, I absolutely love it. I feel really pretty. Love the makeup. I actually got like a whole new palette kind of for this, like just generally I've been wanting it for ages, but I was like, if there's, you know, the right time, it is now. And obviously I still have the nails. The reason why I'm going today and not 2 weeks ago is because my roommate, one of my closest friends, has her birthday today, and she was away and she just came back last week, and so she's been, you know, wanting to see it with me and her boyfriend today on her birthday. So it's just such a fucking moment. I am so excited. So I'll see you tonight. Hi everyone. So it is later in the day and I am here to talk to you about Barbie and to wrap up this video. So I think I'm actually gonna just take off my glasses for a second to give the makeup a little bit more space to shine. Oh my god, before I get into the movie, I have a little package. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I basically ordered 2 things at Etsy. A birthday gift for my roommate, who had her birthday today, and earrings that I wanted to wear for the Barbie movie. And for both things, they were supposed to arrive later than they did, and I was just like, you know what, I'm still gonna give it a try, because like, what if they send it faster? What if it just arrives faster? In both cases, it did arrive faster, but this just arrived, like I had it when I came back home. It was stuck in the letterbox, and so I obviously did not wear it to the movie, but it's okay because I still think I want to see it again. I can show it to you now and, you know, do a little unboxing of it. So, you know what, I'm actually gonna take my glasses. I do see without glasses on, but it's just not, you know, it's not it. So it's in this little bubble wrap, and oh my gosh, that is really cute. So we have this little cute packaging. That's cute. And I know this is gonna be crazy, like even more crazy than things I would normally wear. Like I am extra, but this is like a different like 2000s, very like my childhood extra, but this is what it looks like. I'm obviously gonna put it on to show you. So it is kind of like a, I don't think it's plastic. I'm pretty sure it's like, it was something else, but it does kind of look plastic. And I don't think I'm gonna it's definitely not something I'm going to wear like really often, but it's so cute. It is really cute. I feel like for any like 2000s themed parties or my rewatch of Barbie or whatever, like it is gonna be perfect. I don't normally buy anything that, you know, isn't like a thing that I can use or wear like at all times, but I'm just like, some things are worth it. So oh my god, that is a moment. That is definitely a moment. So this is what it looks like. I love big earrings. This is like really big even for me. But it is super cute. Like, you know, let's be honest, it goes with the vibe. It certainly does. So let's talk about the movie. I loved it. So I don't know, I kind of went into it expecting to completely love it, but at the same time I didn't want to have super high expectations, because I feel like before I even watched it, when I saw the trailer at the beginning, I was actually like, you know what, I don't know if I like this vibe. Like, it was kind of strange, and so, you know, but then I got more and more excited as more people talked about it and whatever, and I kind of like loved it more than I expected. But it was also not what I expected. So it is definitely a super unique movie. Like, I have most certainly not seen anything even slightly like this. I think it is super creative. I wouldn't say that it's like the perfect movie for me, but it was fucking awesome. And I did cry a little bit. Like, I've heard people say that they completely sobbed and whatever, so I didn't have that experience. I am most certainly a crier in most cases, but I did, like, you know, there were some tears for sure, and it was very meaningful. And I feel like, obviously, I love, like, and I love feminist, like, movies and whatever, messages and stuff, but it's not the reason I wanted to watch it. I honestly, like, even though it is something that I care about, obviously, and, like, support and whatever, I went into the movie for Barbie's personal journey, and I feel like that was definitely the thing that I actually loved the most. I do think that some of the, like, feminist meanings behind it were cool and well done. Some of it I didn't feel like was completely perfect, but the journey, the emotional journey Barbie went on, like, I connected to that as much as I thought, and it was like a bigger part of the movie than I expected. There was like this one thing that kept going around that was like a little screenshot and just one line, and when I saw that, I was like, you know what, that movie, like, it's gonna hit me, you know, and it most certainly hit me. I honestly don't have much deeper to say than that. I love this whole pink explosion, and oh my god, I forgot to mention, I don't actually know if you can see it that well when I'm like sitting, but I got a fucking beanbag that's pink. I also have this like little footstool, and I am so happy. So we're gonna be chilling here a lot more often. Obviously, I film in front of my bookshelves a lot, but we're gonna film here even more, because then, like, I can kind of work with more angles with this now. I do think I want to decorate the wall a little bit more and the shelves a little bit more. I have updated you on all the things that I've read. The only thing I don't think I mentioned is I did start Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey, and I got to page 80. I got to page 80, so, like, obviously not a lot, but, like, you know, I started reading it, and it was fun. It is cute. I do think that I'm gonna like it, but I don't think I'm gonna completely adore it, and I've been kind of, I wouldn't say I'm in a reading slump, but I've been really distracted, and I need to just read books that I'm the most in the mood for. I just love making these videos, and I feel like this one was so fucking successful. I do want to start, like, doing more actual activities and having a more aesthetic vibe to these videos, but one step at a time, you know, we're gonna get there. So, I'm gonna shut up now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I'm gonna see you soon in my next video. Bye!